Hey everybody, welcome to Who Let the Dogs Out. Today we have a Q&A for you. So Sally, tell them what we're talking about today.
Okay, so today we're talking about should you get a boy or a girl puppy?
Okay.
One person was watching Dog Whisperers, a child who said you needed to be a pack leader, true or false?
Okay.
And are big dogs or little dogs easier to train?
All right, folks, that's what we're talking about today. We also, I think, have some world news and a trivia question for you guys. So if y'all want to learn about all that stuff, stay tuned with us. And yeah, enjoy the show.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
Alrighty, everybody, welcome to Who Let the Dogs Out, the podcast designed to help you enjoy life with your best friend without all the frustrations. Join us each week as we help families across the country do just that. I'm your host, Corey, and I'm joined by my co-host,
Sally.
And today, like I said, we've got a Q&A for you. But for those of you who don't know us, my name's Corey. I'm the founder of Wonder Dog Training. We started the first day of 2018, and since then, we've helped thousands of families and thousands of dogs across multiple cities and multiple states. So that's who I am and what I do here.
I'm Sally. I'm administration, so I'm on the calls if you want to call in and check out us for training and do lots of other things behind the scenes.
Yeah, so that's who we are. Well, let's start off with a trivia question. The trivia question today is, what is the most common reason that dogs are surrendered to shelters? So we're going to go over that, and then I got some data to back it up. So that's our trivia question today. And you'll be able to pick from aggression, owners moving, housing issues, medical costs, age, things like that. And so we'll talk about that and some data to back it up. And maybe how we as a community of dog owners can kind of solve that problem. So that's our trivia question today. So if you want the answer to that, stick with us till the end of the show. And I guess before we jump into formats, if you get any value out of today's show, it makes you think, you learn something new, whatever it is, we just ask that you share the show with a friend, family member, colleague, something like that. That really helps us kind of grow the show. And our numbers are growing. So thank you guys so much. That's pretty much it. That's our request. And if you want to engage with us on the show, comment down below. Speaking of comments, we've got some new ones.
Okay.
Oh, real quick. I forgot to do what kind of format. So today we're doing a Q&A. If you guys want to write in questions, you can write in questions too.
Sally at wonderdogtraining.com.
Yes, or you can comment them down below on whatever platform you're on, and that's what we're about to do. We're about to read some comments from some of our watchers and listeners and stuff like that. But if you want a question or you have a topic for Dog Talk, which is our other format, basically we come on and talk about a topic related to dogs, dog ownership, dog training, things like that. So if you want to, you can come on and send in a topic about that as well. And we also do interviews, and we just did a great interview this week. We recorded it a couple days ago. Yeah, I guess 3 days ago now. Anyways, great interview with Dr. Sally. She's an in-home euthanasia vet. She laid your dog to rest and my dog to rest. So we interviewed her. Great interview. It's our longest interview we've ever done.
But it felt like seconds.
Yeah, it went pretty quick. So anyways, that'll be coming out in like 2 to 3 weeks. So be looking forward to that. We're very excited about releasing that. So that's the formats on the show. Anyways, go into comments. So on YouTube, we've got one from The Adventures of Grandpa. And on our last episode we put out, which was 97, he said, "Great episode, guys. Thank you for the PSA on service and working dogs. Frederick is now 3 for 3. I don't know what 3 for 3 means, but I'm assuming maybe 3 fines out of 3 searches or something.
Yeah, that's my interpretation.
That's my interpretation as well. But great job, man. That's amazing. Really proud of little Frederick. I don't know if our PSA, I don't know if the idiots who are touching service dogs while they're working are listening to our podcast, but if they are, now they know better. Or I think we might have clipped that. So if we did, you can just send them the video or put a little QR code on Frederick's vest and be like, watch this before you pet him. That'd be fun. Anyways, that's the comments. And then we also downloaded where we can read our Spotify comments on on the show now as well. So we've got a couple from page_Ram. No clue who that is.
I wonder.
Do you know her?
I think I've met her a couple of times.
I might know her. Yeah. Anyways, on our 777 puppy episode, it says favorite episode yet. That's also the episode right after we got engaged. So we talked about it. So she was very excited. Because before that, I kind of mentioned her briefly on the show, but I never name dropped her on the show. But now it's official. We're locked in, folks. We're locked in. About to be locked in for life. Anyways, the episode we did with you where it said, where I asked you questions.
Yeah.
It says petition for more Q&As with Sally. I'm laughing though because Did I do it on the show where I was like, I'm interviewing you today, and I said, what's your deepest, darkest secret?
And I was like, what?
I couldn't remember if I did that on air or off air.
Yeah, you did.
That
I was a
funny.
deer in headlights. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah. I don't know which episode that is, but I interviewed Sally and asked her some questions from her perspective as somebody who's been working here almost 7 years and does all the calls and talks to all the new people who book training with us.
But I'm not a dog trainer.
But you know quite a bit.
But I'm not a dog trainer.
Right, you're not. But yeah,
Yeah,
and that,
I've got
that's
a few-
fair to know. But
yeah.
like you have talked to, I mean,
I've
thousands of
talked
people
to thousands of people
about their dogs, and you've been around for quite a while with us, so you know some stuff.
I know some stuff. Yeah, you know.
And then this was on episode 96, but Emily with Mackie commented on Spotify, and she said, "Thank you so much for addressing this. I really appreciate your advice. I've tried giving people treats, like you said, and will continue to do so. It helps, but not every time. Hopefully, with age, it'll get better. Also, Mackie was dressed as Gary the Snail for the Halloween party." So anyways, that's it, folks. Those are the comments for this week. So if you want to engage with us on the show, drop a comment down below on one of the episodes. We love that.
We do.
Yeah. So anyways, that's it. That's the comments. How's everything in Sally's world?
In Sully World, do you think? In Sully World, everything's good. Yeah, I have a fence.
Nice.
Yes.
I think you had a fence last time.
I have a contained dog and all is good. And he's walking nicer. And yeah, we're loving getting out when it's not dark. I don't like it when it's early dark time. So yeah, loving it.
Yeah. Now you can get off work and go on a stroll.
Go on a stroll.
The weather felt so good. The weather, I mean, it's like God set the thermos. It's just perfect. It's not hot. It's not cold. It's just right.
Just right.
Oh, yesterday was really the first day that I gotten sweaty in a while, like in a long time. Not outside of working out. And by the end of the day, I was just like, I've got to get out of these clothes and take a shower. I just felt grody.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, weather is good.
Yeah, but it is really nice.
It is. So good. What have you been up to?
Other than work, not much. We filmed a bunch of funny videos yesterday. Yes, be looking out for those on social in the next probably 2 or 3 weeks. Those got to get turned around. But I don't know. I always think about like, what do I talk about now that Mia's gone? Because that's what I would always talk about. I don't.
Yeah, you would.
This isn't
there's
like
just a little hole
podcast on my personal life or business or whatnot, which is, the other majority of my life. But meeting lots of fun dogs for training. Got a bunch of people signed up for training this week and last week and stuff. Not as me last week, but overall work's going really good. We're getting lots of new dogs. Springtime, it's like people are coming out of the woodworks, folks.
Wow.
They're loving the spring weather.
Well, it's not so bad walking an unruly dog in the dark because people don't see you. But now it's springtime. You want to walk a nice, controlled dog.
Yeah.
And enjoy it. Get outside. Get your steps in.
Yeah, you're right. But yeah, meeting lots of fun dogs. I'm trying to think of my favorite dog I've met this week. I've met some cute ones this week. I met with she's probably watching. She, an older lady yesterday who has a Cocker Spaniel. That dog was real cute. I've met a lot. I mean, all the dogs I've met this week have been cute. I'm trying to see if one like sticks out as my favorite though.
Yeah, that lady'd always wanted a King Charles Spaniel.
Yeah. Yesterday though, when we were filming the videos, there was a dog out front named Roxy. And like, you meet so many dogs. Like I really do appreciate all the dogs that come in, but every now and then like you'll develop like a special connection with one of them, or whatnot. And Roxy was that one for me. When I had sold training to her owner, I mean, it helped. I like the dog and I like the owner quite a bit. And I stayed after the appointment for a while to chat with the owner because we're both into a bunch of the same stuff. And so anyways, but Roxy was just so sweet. And so I pulled her off the wall yesterday to do a video with her of just like, we did like a little springtime video. It was real fun. But she's such a goofball. So we were working on recall and every time, and it was just on a long leash. And so every time I'd get her to me, I'd get her to sit. And she did so good about recalling and then just sitting and waiting until she was told free. Anyways, I'd go free and I'd kind of raise my tone a little bit rather than just like saying it, regular. And I'd get really excited. And then every time I'd say it, she'd get excited. And so then I started doing it and like stomping my feet at the same time or like jumping like a little jump and stomping my feet and going free. And every time I did, she would go like back on both legs and like both of her front legs would like spread out like this. And then she just started zooming all around and stuff like that. It was real fun. She was real cute and real sweet.
Oh, what breed is she?
She's an Anatolian Shepherd.
Cute.
Yeah, she's real sweet. big girl. I mean, she's tall. She's real thin though, because she's still a baby. But, anyways, life's good, work's good, God's good. Everything's great.
It is.
Everything's great. Can't complain.
I liked the Irish wolfhound that was in on Monday.
Yeah, is it Seamus or Seamus?
Seamus.
I think it's pronounced Seamus, but
It
it
is,
looks like
but it's
Seamus.
spelt Seamus because I did that wrong because it's Irish, isn't it?
It is.
So when I said,
that's why Sean is spelled S-E-A-N, but it's pronounced Sean.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
So it's Seamus. Anyways, but yeah, we have an Irish wolfhound.
he is just so laid back.
Yeah, he's a
big boy.
too. Yeah,
So
his family's so
cute.
great too. He's got owners that really love him a lot. Some fun, some boys at the house to play with and stuff. And they really just want him. He was already pretty good. Honestly, they just really want him like off leash and walk good and just be
just some
good example and stuff.
fine-tuning.
Yeah, but that is the tallest dog breed in the world. Yeah.
Is it really?
Mhm. Yeah, tallest. Not biggest in terms of mass. There are dogs that are bigger in terms of like mass, like mastiffs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which I guess might be why they're called mastiffs.
Mastiff.
Yeah, mastiffs. Anyways, but yeah, big old boy, super sweet too. He's just he's a good boy. There's something I was gonna say about him. No, I forgot. Anyways, yeah, no, he's a good boy.
Is that breed always that chill?
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I told them, I'm like, I feel like I've met one or two, but I think that's the first one we've ever trained. Yeah, I think that's the first one we've ever trained.
Yeah,
so I might have met one or two before, but maybe not. Maybe he's the first one I met. I couldn't really remember. I mean, definitely met lots of.
I can't remember in all my time that we've done an Irish wolfhound.
Yeah. And, every now and then you'll get a breed that's very memorable in the sense that
he's so gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, because there's a lot of dogs these days that it's like, well, I've met a lot of dogs over the years, so it's like, yeah, I've met a lot of dogs. So every now and then it's like, you meet one and you're like, oh, wow, that's a unique breed. I haven't met that before, It's tougher to do these days just because of how many dogs I've met, but.
Yeah.
I was looking up the Irish wolfhound. I was making sure. Large sighthound. Yeah. Yeah, the only thing I'd say like that would make me not want to get an Irish wolfhound, well, that's just not really the breed for me. But let's say it was.
Yeah.
They don't live long.
Do they?
They only live like 7-8 years. Like their lifespan on average is like 6 to 10. Average is 7 or 8. And I don't know, losing a dog you love is just a real tough thing,
Yeah, that's a short life. Any particular reason why it's such a short lifespan?
Big dogs just live less
just
long.
because of the pure size of the dog.
I think. I mean, that would be my assumption. But
Gotcha.
yeah, Paige sent me a video yesterday of me and Mia on the 26th, the day that we left for our like last big trip or whatnot, and I made her like stay and I called her to me or whatnot. And she's like trying her best to run as fast as she can to me or whatnot and, struggling. And I told her, I just miss her a lot, I just miss her a lot. I miss her every day. She said, yeah, I know you do. And I'd said, it's just, I'm homesick for a dog that I won't see for a long time. You know, like I just, and she's like, that's probably the perfect way to describe it. I'm like, I'm just homesick for my friend that I won't see for a really long time. So, yeah, because it is true that saying. It's like life goes on. It's like,
Well,
like your world could be ending and be shattered.
Yeah.
But for the rest of the world, life's happening.
Around you.
Yeah. I mean, you just drive down the street the day you lose a loved one or something like that. And it's like all those people driving past you have no clue that your world's shattered.
No. They sure
and
don't.
realistically, they probably don't care either, honestly, which, I mean, they don't know me. So why would they? But I'm just saying it's just an example of like life goes on,
Yeah.
So anyways, all right, let's do question 1.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, and that leads into this because you'll be doing this soon. So
I already know the question. I'm getting a girl.
We always had girls as well when I was growing up, but then I wanted a male dog. But anyway, so someone is getting a new puppy and they want to know, should I get a boy or a girl? What do you think?
Should you get a boy or a girl dog? I'm going to say this overall. I don't think it really matters that much. I don't think it really matters that much in terms of like, I think it really comes down to preference, what you want to deal with, what you don't want to deal with, things like that. So I'll just kind of run through how I'm thinking about it. The biggest one's preference. Do you want a boy dog or do you want a girl dog? I think there are kind of like 3 kind of categories of relationships. You've got boy dog, female owner, and they can bond really well. You've got, maybe it's bigger categories. You could do female dog and girl and woman, and they bond really well together. Same thing goes for males. You can have a human male and boy dog and girl dog and have like a really strong bond, And so, so I think it's really just like preference. I've seen like great relationships. Like some girl dogs are like male dogs, like Mia liked men. Me and my dad particularly. And, just didn't really care as much for ladies. That's just what she was, but there's a lot of like boy dogs who like their buddies, the husband, or whatnot. Their husband, their buddies with the husband, right? So I think it's just preference. It comes down to that first and foremost. I think in terms of trainability, I think they roughly train the same. I think that girl dogs might be a little bit smarter in the sense that they're like less just dumb, stubborn. Boy dogs you can get a little bit more.
Females were smarter and easier to train than males.
I'd also say a little moodier though too. That is a fact. That's a fact.
Hormonally.
Yeah, that's a fact. Boy dogs though, they're a little bit more stubborn, and maybe I wouldn't necessarily say stubborn, but just a little bit less with it than girl dogs, I'd say. But also, you don't really deal with kind of the moodiness that you get with, maybe a girl dog or whatnot, right? And then what do you want to deal with? Like with boy dogs, it's a dog that doesn't go into heat, But as a result of that, you might deal with more like dominant behaviors, possibly. Like marking stuff, humping, things like that, more than you might deal with in a female. Mm-hmm. Females could still hump and mark, but it would be less prevalent in a female dog, but you don't deal with heat. So ultimately I think it really kind of comes down to, preference and what you want to tolerate and don't want to tolerate and stuff like that.
Absolutely. Do you know anything like with the service dogs, do they prefer males or females? Like with the dogs you've worked, when you've been alongside the police, do they tend to...
most of them want boy dogs, yeah.
Okay,
most of them want boy dogs, yeah. A lot of people want boy dogs for like police dogs, protection dogs, things like that. There's a lot of great female dogs that are out there doing the same job or whatnot. But in my experience, most of those guys want male dogs or whatnot.
And is that because the aggression's more...
Yeah, I think so.
Instinctive with a male dog.
I think so too. And then, like I said, if you don't fix the dog, then you've got to deal with heat, and that'll take the dog off of work a little bit, and stuff. And so, I think there's also just like a little bit, generally speaking, there's a little bit more courage and drive there. Maybe not drive. Drive might be the wrong word, but just more like courage, in a boy dog. So, anyways.
Yeah, interesting.
In terms of like service dogs, like with helping people with disabilities, I don't know if it really matters so much.
Yeah. I wouldn't have thought so. I think that's a preference there as well, isn't it? and of course, like with service dogs, if they match you to your service dog, so it could be either or, couldn't it? Yeah,
I suppose. But yeah, I mean, overall, I think it really just comes down to what you want. I want a girl dog. I want another little girl. So, and then when I get a golden retriever, I want to get a boy.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. But I'm also kind of a creature habit too. It's like once I find something I like, I just want to keep doing that one thing, Had a great relationship and a great experience with a girl dog. Let's try my hand at that again, Yeah.
Well, she's never going to replace that baby girl.
Never going to replace her. Never going to replace her. Not trying to do that.
No. Okay, let me give you another question then. We'll go in order. So this person remembers watching The Dog Whisperer, so Cesar Millan, as a child, and he was saying you should always be the pack leader. So she wants to know, is this true or false, and what are your thoughts on it?
Well, let me say this. I think there's a lot of dog trainers that talk poorly about the dog whisperer. I think he was great for our business because I think he made dog training mainstream for a lot of families who wouldn't have really considered it otherwise. So I've got to, hats off to that. And he's still around. He's still doing stuff. So good for him. What do I think about the pack leader concept? Ultimately, I'm kind of in favor. I mean, I do think I think dogs, like, as much as people will say that they don't that they don't fall into like a hierarchical structure. I probably said that wrong, but like a hierarchy. I don't think that's true. I think you see that in the house. I think you see that like there is a hierarchy. And I think that a lot of times dogs with no rules, manners, boundaries, commands, etc., will place themselves kind of higher in the hierarchy, and they'll do what they want to. Yeah. So ultimately, I do think that the human should be in the leadership position rather than the dog being in the leadership position. I think that that's true.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I think the human should be in the top spot, 100%. Yeah, in terms of, but I also think that, and I'm not even saying this about the dog whisperer necessarily. I do think like there is kind of like an older school mentality that's like a little bit more like alpha and macho and stuff like that. And I don't know if that's necessarily required with like your average house pet or whatnot, So I think you can be the, pack leader, so to speak, and like do it in like a very like caring and respectful way, but also, and do it and never raise your voice or never, raise your hand at your dog or put the dog on its back and hold the dog down. Right. I think there's a lot of ways that you can be the, pack leader, in a crazy way. What would be crazy like most families and most dogs and situations and stuff like that,
because we found you don't have to train dogs through fear, do you? To get them to respect you, you don't have to make them fearful of you.
Right.
Which sometimes is old school methods, isn't it? It's like,
Yeah, and I mean, and to be clear, like we don't want to make dogs scared of us,
No,
like I want you to be the leader, but I don't want your dog to be scared of you,
that's what I'm saying.
I think there's a difference though between like fear and healthy respect too. Like like, as a kid growing up, I wasn't scared of my dad, but I had a healthy respect for him. I still do, but I wasn't scared of him, but I did have a healthy respect for him. And I think your dog should be the same way. I don't think they should be scared of you, but I think they should have a healthy respect for like, hey, this person means business. When they say something or they have this manner or boundary in place or whatever, like they really mean it and they're going to make you do it every time, And so I think there's a difference between fear and respect.
Yeah, I think so.
I think the same thing can go for dogs. But ultimately, I'm in favor of it. I mean, there's some stuff that's like old school that I'm not a super big fan of. Yanking crate training and alpha rolls and stuff like that. I just don't. I don't think some of that stuff is necessary. And there are really dominant dogs though out there that like you do have to take a more dominant position with the dog in order to tell them like, hey, I am above you in the hierarchy, right? I just don't think that's super common for your average like house pet. Like your average golden doodle or like we got a weenie dog out there today. Like you probably don't need to do that with them. No. Although they're all really dominant weenie dogs actually. So maybe I take that back. But you get what I'm saying though. Like the goal is like there's a lot of ways that you can do that in a healthy, respectful way. To you and the dog.
And you're right. I think when you watch Cesar Millan, he's taking on some real serious cases, isn't he?
He is. He's also doing it on camera, which is like something that like a lot of dog trainers, like they don't video their bad work. They only video their good work, like a lot of people aren't willing to show like, their bad work. It makes me think of this one example. Like I remember one time I was training this, golden doodle for videos and for the portal that we have or whatnot. And Jesse was filming me and I'm walking the dog and I'm working on getting the dog to heel off leash or whatnot. And the first step to that is like healing with the dog on a leash. Anyways, I've had this happen to me a few times in my career where like the prong collar would just all of a sudden just like pop off, right? Like, and if you pinch the things to make it like easy for the human to get on and off, sometimes you will pinch it too much and it'll be too easy for the collar to come off. And so I remember like walking with this dog on the video and the collar literally just pops off and I look down and I'm like, all right, well, that wasn't supposed to happen, and I think we kept that in the video just to be, and Daniel, our editor and content guy in marketing, he's been with us since day one, but he sent me that and he was like, hey man, I think we should keep this in. Like, it just shows that like even you make mistakes. I'm like, yeah, sure. Keep it in, but anyways, so I think, I was saying all that to say like he had the pleasure / displeasure of putting everything on TV and being filmed for everything too, and a lot of people, a lot of trainers only show their good work. They don't show their mistakes and stuff like that. And so there is like, I would say, the trainers out there that are willing to like say like, yeah, I've made mistakes or video them and publish them. And then, that's a lot better than some sort of polished, like flashy video or whatnot, and in dog world, which most people aren't in like dog world, but like on dog world on Instagram, it's like, you'll get a 10-second clip of a dog doing something awesome. And it's like the 10 best seconds out of like all their training, and it's like the dog doing like a perfect, heel and looking up and stuff like that. And like there, there's a tennis ball under their armpit or something like that, that they're trying to hide from you. But as soon as, the video cuts off, they're dropping it for the dog to get, right? But they got a really nice 10-second clip. And those videos are cool. I'm not hating on those videos. I'm just saying like a lot of people show their best work, not their worst work. And the dog whisperer had to put out a lot of content for crazy dogs that like a lot of trainers probably might not even be willing to take on in the first place. And so not only does he take the dog on as a case to work with, but he's also training the humans and he's doing it on TV for millions and millions of people to watch. Yeah. But anyways, I think we should, I think like he made dog training popular for most families, and put it on the minds of a lot of people. And even if some of the information is a little old school or outdated or whatnot, it's like, still, he helped a lot of families and a lot of dogs and continues.
And continues to do so.
Yeah.
Absolutely. At his ranch. Okay. This is a fun one. So
Question 3.
So this person asked, are big dogs or little dogs easier to train? Her mum thinks big dogs. She thinks small dogs. What do you think?
What do you think?
I would go large.
Okay. Why is that?
Because I just think these smaller breeds are just so like hyper and scrappy.
Big dogs aren't hyper and scrappy?
Not as much as little dogs are just like really like.
What are they like?
Like that. Whereas, big dogs can be hyper and full of energy depending on breed. But I just think a big dog is a bit easier to train than a little. What do you think? You're just going to say all dogs are easy to train.
No, I mean, I think overall, I think how easy a dog to train is comes down to not the dog. It comes down to the dog itself. It's one breed. Some breeds are definitely smarter than others and less stubborn than others and more willing to please than others and stuff like that. So it comes down to the dog itself. And then 2, the human. Basically, I think those are like the 2 factors that determine how easy a dog is to train. How consistent is the human? Is the human on it? Are they not on it? Are they on it some days, but they're not others? So I'd say those would be like the 2 main factors in how easy a dog is to train. I'll say this. You've got a lot of like big dogs that are very like smart, intelligent, willing to please, want to work, things like that. And a lot of big dog breeds that are like very just like ditzy, and don't, pay attention to anything and kind of stubborn and stuff like that. You've got some little dogs. I would say, I'm trying to think. Like, I think overall with like little dogs though, most little dogs are like pretty smart and pretty with it, Like, and I think there's a lot less little dog breeds that are just kind of like ditzy and out there than there are some big dog breeds. I do think little dogs clearly can be stubborn and stuff like that. But overall, I feel like, all year, like, there's also a lot more big dog breeds than there are little dog breeds, I think. Because when I think of like little dogs, I think of like 5 or 6 main breeds, and so versus like big dog, I could list off a ton of breeds, So I think there's also just a lot more like options for big dogs than there are for little dogs. And a lot of little dogs are pretty smart and pretty with it, not saying that they're not stubborn or anything. So, but yeah, so anyways, a definitive answer, but then you also have to consider too, big dogs, while stronger, there's a lot more mass to handle. And so it's like, if I need to like get the dog to sit and the dog doesn't sit, if I need to like pull up and push down on the dog's butt or something like that, to actually kind of make the dog sit if they don't, there's a lot more to pull on, a lot more butt to touch to help them get to the ground versus a little dog. I'm huge too. I'm 6'5", so I've got to go a long way down to get to a weenie dog to like give them a little pull and a little push. You know what I'm saying? So, in terms of easier, it could be like, well, okay, like how strong are you? Can you handle a big dog? How short are you? How tall are you? Things like that. And so I just think there's a lot of factors that go into the question. Just for funsies though, if I had to pick one, I'd probably go big dogs.
I'm wondering if I'm getting the feeling that it's harder to train little ones because they just get away with so much because they're so cute.
That, I think, yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot to say that. But yeah, I mean, we definitely train. It's 80-20 for sure. 80% big dogs here. And by big, I mean dogs that are over like 25, 30 pounds. That'd be like medium to big. Medium to large. Small would be like anything. We would consider small anything like 25 and under, basically. So it's 80-20 though. for sure.
Yeah.
Like out there today, there's definitely 80% of the dogs out there today are big, 20% are small, right?
Yeah.
So in terms of but yeah, I think overall, I mean, the severity of little dogs being bad is a lot less severe than big dogs being bad, right?
Yeah.
If a little Shih Tzu pees in your house, going to be a little bit of pee, little poop. If you got a Great Dane pooping in your house, big pee, big poop, right? Very big problem. Great Dane peeing in your house can cause water damage, right? You know, and so versus a little dog, a little bit of pee. Jumping on grandma, Shih Tzu jumps on grandma, not great. Probably not going to knock her down, maybe unless the dog trips her. Great Dane jumps on grandma, grandma's going down. Grandma's
She's
breaking
down.
a hip, So pulling on the leash, Shih Tzu pulls, it's like, all right, I could probably still do that and like hold the leash with 2 fingers, maybe 1. Great Dane pulls, I need, at least a hand, maybe 2 on the leash, right? And so I think the severity of little dogs being bad is a problem, or is the severity is less of a problem. And so that would result in less people getting their little dogs trained. Yeah. For example, Frenchies. Frenchies, #1 dog breed in America. Love it or hate it, #1 dog breed in America.
Yeah.
We don't train nearly as many Frenchies as we should based on popularity.
Yeah.
Train a lot of big golden doodles, a lot of golden retrievers, a lot of rescues, that are just, mixes, mixed breeds, and those are all big. But we don't train nearly as many Frenchies. And I think it's because people think it's cute and it's built into the dog being bad. Like that's part of having a Frenchie is they do bad stuff, right? Yeah. And it's like the people who are just like really sick of it and they want a good Frenchie, not saying they're not good, but like who want a trained Frenchie are the ones who actually call us, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with weenie dogs. Like I will say, despite how popular weenie dogs are, we do get a handful. Like I feel like I've signed up like 1 a week for the last 3 weeks or whatnot. We had one out there yesterday. We've got one out there today. Just signed up another one yesterday. So we do get like I'd say a high volume of weenie dogs, but we don't get as many as we should based on how popular the breed is. And but I think there's also different levels of bad. Like weenie dogs are like stubborn and loud. Frenchies are normally just like stubborn and bad, at least for all they aren't super loud, and it's like tough if your dog's like barking at literally everybody, and weenie dogs have a tendency to be very loud dogs, So anyways, all that being said, like I said, if I was picking a breed, picking one of the 2, big or little, I would go big. If I was, just picking it for funsies, I'd go big. Dogs are easier to train than little dogs. But like I said, comes down to a lot of factors at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, because little dogs, if they're not walking nicely, can just scoop them up and carry them home.
Yeah.
You can't do that with your Great Dane.
Can't do that with your Great Dane.
Oh.
Unless you're me, I could pick up a Great Dane, but not for very long. Not for very far. You don't think I could?
No, I think you could. But
I was going to say I definitely could.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought about, when you said that, I thought about me and went, Yeah.
I couldn't lift a Great Dane over my head because they're super wiggly, but I can lift the weight of a Great Dane over my head just standing. Mm-hmm. So I can definitely pick up a Great Dane. I feel like you're challenging me.
If anybody's got a Great Dane that they'd like to bring to...
Do it.
Let him prove it, huh?
Yeah.
That's fun. Great questions, though. I love those questions today.
Yeah, no, those were good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, trivia question, trivia answer. Trivia question was, what's the most common reason that dogs are surrendered to the shelters? And so we're going to let Sally guess from our multiple choice.
Okay.
Is it A, aggression, B, owners moving or housing issues, C, medical cost of the dog, D, dog being too old?
I'm going to say aggression, but I'm going to say that these dogs that are being returned aren't aggressive. I should imagine they're reactive and people think that it's aggression.
Probably.
What was the answer?
The answer is B, housing issues / owners moving. And it says a huge percentage of dogs surrendered to shelters are simply there because the owners move somewhere that doesn't allow pets or has restrictions. And I'd asked for some data to go with it. And it says a large analysis of shelter intake records found that housing issues are one of the top reasons that dogs are surrendered. Housing issues accounted for about 13.7% of owner surrenders in a multi-shelter data set. Another study analyzing relinquishment reasons found housing problems made up about 21% of dog surrenders, making it one of the leading causes. Additional shelter record studies show that housing /moving accounts for roughly 18% of rehome or going to the shelters.
Yeah.
Again, placing in one of the most common reasons. Yeah. Anyway, so that's the answer. My thoughts on that are, number one, I get it. There are certain people in certain phases of life or financial situations where it's like, you got to move. You're moving somewhere you can't take the dog. I totally understand that. I can relate and I can feel for those people and stuff. I guess you can't relate because I would never move somewhere that Mia couldn't go whenever she was alive. However, I can empathize with that situation, of being in a situation where like you can't move somewhere with your dog, right? However, man, I would say sure try, because that would be, golly, that'd just be so rough. Developing a relationship with a dog for a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever it is. It's even sadder when it's old dogs, they've had a whole life at home and then now they're, gone. That's very sad. So I would say really, really give it your best shot if you could.
Well, you did have a similar situation. You weren't allowed to take Mia home for a while. And she was boarding at the kennels, wasn't she?
Well, that's her getting kicked out. That's different. She got kicked out of the house. She was allowed to be there. She just got kicked out of the house.
Okay.
And then she got to come home because she was a good girl. Yeah, but I'd say, man, sure try.
Yeah.
Sure give it your best shot.
That is so sad.
Yeah.
So sad.
Yeah. That one, I mean, that one's tough though to like fix with the training, thing or whatnot, I will say the loophole there is service dogs and ESAs. So if you qualify for a service dog or emotional support animal, maybe looking to turn in your dog into one of those, look up the requirements for those. I don't want to, I'm not saying, break any laws or do anything unethical, but if you qualify for a service dog or an emotional support animal, I think you can get around most pet restrictions in living situations. So, yeah.
Gotcha. Well, do you want to hear my world news?
Oh, I did trivia for world news. Go ahead.
That's okay, because I got a couple. So, one from the UK. This week is Crufts, which is the Westminster Dog Show. Mm-hmm. Big thing. It's like Wimbledon of dogs.
All right.
To be the champion. So, statistics. 20,000 dogs have been entered into this dog show.
Okay.
Coming from overseas now, it's not just like England and Europe. So New Zealand, Peru, Argentina, they're all going to it.
Right.
And dogs entered this year. France has the most dogs entered in the show, 538 dogs, followed by Italy with 436, Germany 425, and the Netherlands 353. Dog shows are popular.
Sounds like it. Do we have a winner yet?
Nope, it's still going on.
You have to report back.
Report back for best of show. And then I've got this really nice, this is a feel-good, warmy one.
All right.
So Ozzy is a Mastiff mix who lives in Oklahoma City, and he's just got a Guinness World Record.
All right. What's the record?
Longest tongue.
Okay.
7.83 inches.
Wow.
And he's taken it over from the previous winner called Rocky, who was a boxer, and his tongue was 5.46 inches.
I wonder if they're measuring from like the start of the mouth outwards or like the literal distance of the whole tongue. From like back of throat to the front of it. Because that doesn't seem that long.
I don't know.
If it's from where
it
the mouth
protrudes out.
Now that 7.8 inches
because
would be
the picture
very
of Ozzy, if you want to go on World News and look, his tongue is like drooping out of the side of his mouth.
All right. Let's look it up.
He's a big old Mastiff.
Yeah, I think it's
Is it from where it you found the picture of him?
I think it's from where it comes out of his mouth, folks.
Because that is long,
that's
droopy
a very
tongue hanging out the side of
tongue.
Bless it. Isn't it cute?
Yeah, I mean, it's literally just out of his mouth all the time.
It's just like, what?
No, it's out of his mouth all the time in all these pictures. Like even when his mouth is closed. Mouth. Yeah. Wow. Interesting. Okay.
Isn't that fun?
Well, very cool.
There you go.
There it is, folks.
Some fun info. So I'll get back to you on who won Crufts.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's going to be a Doberman.
I don't know.
Doberman won the Westminster.
Yeah, who knows?
So, yeah, watch this space.
Let's watch it, keep up with it, and we'll report back. Well, guys, thank you all so much. We hope you all are enjoying the show and the springtime and the weather and all that kind of stuff. If you like the show and you made it this far and you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe, follow button. Comment down below to engage with us. We'd love to talk to you. And read your comments off on the show. Share it with a friend, family member, colleague, something like that. So anyways,
hit all the buttons.
All the buttons. That would be very, very helpful if you could help us with that. So anyways, guys, thank you so much. Remember, you can get your dog trained and that can get you some peace, but the only way to true peace is to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus. We'll see you in the next episode.
See you next time. Bye.